After hearing these comments from Joel Embiid last night in his post-game conference, I think it's time that we finally have an open and honest conversation about the Philadelphia 76ers. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and of course follow me on both Instagram and Twitter. Both are at Sixers Breakroom. Let's get to the Sixers, man. Let's talk about it, because this season so far has been disappointing. There's been a couple of highs, there's been some really low lows, and there's a lot of blame that's going around, but it's all directed at one guy, Doc Rivers, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But let's talk about this quote from Joel Embiid. He said, "Our season started tonight. The Phillies are done. I enjoyed watching them, so our season started tonight. The other games don't count." What the hell are you talking about, Joel Embiid? This whole season, this whole team was built on championship or bust. And Joel Embiid just decided on his own, well, them games don't count. Those games weren't important. You know, the season really starts now. The season really starts now. And I got a couple questions about this season starting now. A couple answers too. Number one, well, that kind of explains why you were out of shape, because clearly you didn't think that the start of the season was that important. People are going to bring up the foot injury, but we didn't hear nothing about that damn foot injury until he wasn't playing well. So I'm not saying that the injury is not real. All I'm saying is I don't want to hear about it when you're not playing well. I would have liked to hear about it in the summer before we came into the season. But he came into the season out of shape for one reason or the next, and then he has the nerve to say, well, those games don't count. I wonder if we had lost that game last night, if he would have still said that the season started tonight, or did he play well and they beat a really good team and now he's feeling good and he's going to be like, well, the season started now. You see what I'm getting at here? It's like convenient when he picks the season starting when, well, it seems like everybody else started the year much earlier. James Harden was very clearly ready to go from opening night. Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, they were ready to go from opening night. So for Joel Embiid, who's the best player on this team, one of the best 5 or 6 guys in the NBA, to have this kind of attitude towards the year, I mean, that's troubling. It kind of goes to what I talk about all the time on Twitter. Everybody is blaming Doc Rivers, and it's got to stop. The coach is only responsible for so much. This isn't high school basketball, man. This isn't college basketball. These are professionals. These are grown men who are going home to a wife and to kids and real life responsibilities. It's not just like they can hear some rah-rah speech and be ready to go. At some level of basketball, when you get to the NBA, rather, the players themselves have to show up ready to work. We're paying you millions of dollars to show up and work. And when guys aren't showing up and ready to work, it's not just always on the coach. Now, there are some things that are on the coach. And if you scroll back on my Twitter, you will see I blame Doc Rivers early in the year for a couple of things. I do believe it is on the coach for the team to play hard. If your team is not playing hard, if there's not much effort, that is a reflection on the coach. But notice I said the team. It's not about the individual. It's about the group. And let's take a look at the group from the start of the season till now. The first couple of games, we were flat. We weren't playing hard defensively. We were getting beat in transition. Guys weren't even running back on defense. It was ugly. It was flat out ugly. There's no excuses. Doc, he fumbled the bag early in the year. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, right? But if you look now, it's been a couple weeks later, very clearly the energy around this team has shifted. The effort has improved on both ends of the floor. We're running in transition offense. We're getting back better transition defense. Our defense has clearly been improving. The communication is there. All those things that we were blaming Doc for early in the year, well, those are starting to change, and nobody's giving Doc credit. I don't hear anybody crediting Doc Rivers for these things. If we're going to give him all of the blame, we got to give him all of the credit. I don't give him all of the blame, and that's why I'm also not going to give him all of the credit. The players woke up, the players heard the noise, and the players decided like, yo, we got to be a part of the solution, because right now we're all part of the problem. But again, I will still put the blame on Doc Rivers for those first 4 games and the way we came out. Offensively, my job as a coach is not for you guys to score the ball. That is not a coach's job. A coach's job is to put people in position to have success. If Tobias Harris is getting open shots and he's just missing, that's not Doc's fault. That's on Toby. If Doc Rivers is getting Maxey looks and he's not making them, that's not on Doc. That's on Maxey. Now, I will be the first one to tell you, this offense is very bland. It's very vanilla. There's not much creativity. And there's a lot of times where it gets stagnant, right? And guys are kind of standing around. And part of that is on the coach. Part of that is, well, you need to start implementing more plays. You got to start putting in more things so you can get certain guys different looks in different areas. They're moving the ball a little bit better, naturally, because Harden hasn't been there the past couple games, and Harden is a bit of a ball stopper. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just it is what it is. But again, it's like when they're missing shots, Doc sucks. When they're making shots, where's the credit? Where's the credit to Doc? And I'm not saying he should get it, but like it's just it blows my mind the way that everything that goes wrong is just keep being heaped on one guy. The offense, should it be a little bit better? When you have the guys that they have, should they be a little more creative offensively? Yes, and that's Doc's fault. That is on Doc for not coming up with a more creative offensive scheme to utilize all the people that he has. When Maxey is sitting in the corner and he's just watching when Harden and Embiid are there, that's Doc Rivers' fault. Doc Rivers needs to find a way to get Maxey going. Doc Rivers needs to find a way to get Tyrese Maxey shots. But when we lose a game to the Knicks and everybody is pointing to the fact that Paul Reed was taken out of the game and everything changed when Paul Reed was taken out of the game. Okay, I also watched us miss 1 million open shots that game. Tyrese Maxey, who everybody loves, he's everybody's favorite Sixer. Tyrese Maxey went 10 for 29. You kidding me? And we lost by how much? We lost by 1 or we lost by 2. If Tyrese Maxey goes 12 for 29, we win. Hell, if Tyrese Maxey goes 11 for 29, we might win. How about the fact that Niang, Tucker, and Melton shot a combined 5 for 21 from 3, including the air ball at the end, which was another good shot, open look. Is it Doc Rivers' fault that they shot 5 for 21 from 3? Hell no. So is it on Doc Rivers because he probably should have kept Paul Reed in the game? Sure, he should have kept Paul Reed in the game. But that ain't got nothing to do with them guys missing all them damn open shots. So there's got to be some balance to it, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what this whole video is about. There's got to be some balance. You can't give somebody all of the blame if you're not ready to give them all of the credit. And we would all agree, no matter how good we end up being, we could win a championship and Doc Rivers still shouldn't get all of the credit. I know that, you know that. So if that's the case, he shouldn't get all of the blame either. I'm not saying Doc Rivers is not part of the problem, because he is. I think sometimes he's stubborn. I think his in-game adjustments are not the best. Obviously, like I said, I feel like the offense they run is prehistoric. However, everybody's screaming for Doc Rivers to get fired. Go on Twitter. Just scroll through Twitter. You're going to see fire Doc, fire Doc, fire Doc. You don't think the players hear that? You don't think Doc hears that? And what happens last night? Last night, at home, against one of the best teams in the Western Conference, we held them to 88 points. I know Chris Paul got hurt, but even when Chris Paul was there, I think our lead was bigger when they had Chris Paul than when he went out, right? Like last night, those guys played hard as hell. And if you don't think it has something to do with them knowing that their coach is on the hot seat, I don't know what to tell you. You're just oblivious to what's going on, right? And that means that at the very least, the players still believe in Doc Rivers. And that should show you guys something. That should show all of us fans, myself included, that should tell us something, that with their backs against the wall and everybody blaming Doc Rivers, the players say, yo, we need to show up and play tonight. We got to show up for Doc. Yet, if we lose the next game, all I'm going to hear is fire Doc. So let me wrap this video up. It's getting pretty long, and I know I'm ranting and I'm rambling a little bit, but here's the spark notes. Everything that goes wrong is not Doc Rivers' fault. He's far from perfect. I don't always love his rotations. I hate the offense that we run, and sometimes he gets a little stubborn and sticks with guys a little too long, or maybe makes a poor sub here, poor sub there. But the team's effort has increased from the beginning till now. Defensively, the team has gotten better. Guys, we're a top 10 defense in the NBA. We're 5th in the NBA in points allowed. Haven't heard one person give Doc Rivers credit for that. Top 5 defense in the NBA, and yet everybody wants to fire the coach. Why are we a top 5 defense in the NBA? Because the effort that was there in the first 3 games that was atrocious and terrible and had even me questioning if Doc Rivers was going to be coaching this team very long, it has shifted. It has changed. They've bought in. You want to know if a team has bought in? Watch how they play defense. Doesn't mean Doc is great. Doesn't mean he's the best coach in the NBA. But damn, we got to stop blaming him for every single thing that goes wrong. And the next time things aren't looking great, just remember our best player, our star player, decided he was going to take the first 10 games off this season. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video. Drop a comment because I know there's going to be some comments to this video. I know people going to be feeling a type of way about some of the things I said. But hey, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not always what you want to hear. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Both are at Sixers Breakroom. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.